Love letter. This is a very minimalist design. Comes in a super small box that contains some wooden cubes to keep track of score, reference cards, and a very small deck of cards. A deck of 18 cards, 16 of which are used in each game. Other two cards are simply variants. Each deck, when you play, the deck when you play will have a card representing the princess, which is theoretically the love object of the game. Players are allegedly trying to deliver a love letter to the princess, but no, not really. There is no theme whatsoever in the game. It is an abstract game with very cute art, but the game is really not thematic whatsoever. However, since the princess is supposed to be the love object, the game comes with variants that have no effect whatsoever in terms of gameplay. But there are just simply two different types of female beauty that the players can choose from, and also there is a prince that you can use if guys are more of your persuasion or more to your likings. In any case, this is one of the possible princes or princesses that you can use in the game. What really matters is the value that the card has and the effect that the card generates. In this case, you cannot discard, otherwise if you discard that card, you're out of the round. As you can see, other cards will represent characters that live in the court, but not really. Again, these are barely thematic cards with a numerical value and with an effect. It's very important that each player receives a card reference at the beginning, so that each player knows the effect of each card and the number of each card that is present in the deck. Now, at the beginning of the game, you shuffle the cards. You remove one of the cards that will not be used for the round and nobody will look at it. Very important, so that prevents too much card counting, even though players will be counting cards, and that is part of the game. It's not that they will be cheating. Then you simply deal one card to each player. Suppose we have a three-player game. This is that simple. When it is a player's turn, that player simply draws a card, adds it to his hand of one card, so goes to a hand of two cards, and plays a single card and resolves the effect of that simple card, of that single card. This is it. It is that simple. You have one card in your hand and a hand of two. You play it. It is the next player's turn, who draws a card, adds it to his hand, looks at the effects, and plays a card, and so on and so forth. Yes? Each card has an effect, which can be very beneficial, but that needs to be used at the right time. Using an effect at the wrong time can be very dangerous. For example, if you play the card, well, that's not very dangerous. What you do is you look at the target player's hand. I'm playing the clown against you. Show me your card. Okay, soldier. What the soldier does is that you target a player and name a non-soldier card. This is important because soldier cards are very common, so you name one of the non-common ones. If the target player has that card in his hand, he's out of the round. So actually, suppose that this is your combination. You play the clown, you look at somebody's hand. Ooh, they had the princess. Then next turn they still have the princess in their hand, but you now know it because of the clown. You play that card, you name the princess, and the player, well, you guessed correctly, the player is eliminated. Other effects are the minister. Well, this is a dangerous card. It doesn't benefit you really. It's a card that you want to avoid / get rid of, because if your hand ever has a total of 12 ranks or more, this is the numerical value in terms of rank of each card, then you are out of the round. Suppose that you have this guy in your hand, you draw the princess, you have a total of 15, you're out. So you're trying to keep low cards in your hand until the minister is out for a round, has been discarded, or somebody is out of the game because they drew it. In any case, you want to keep low cards in your hand as much as you can until you know that the minister is not around doing damage. You want to give the minister to other players. It is just a negative card. It doesn't really benefit you. Other effects are, well, the effect of the wizard. You can target any player, including yourself. The player discards his hand and draws a new card from the deck. You change hands with the target player. Must be done carefully. Suppose that this is your hand. I've seen people doing a big and kind of funny mistake here. Suppose these are the hands, your hand, that a player's hand. You play the general on this play and says, okay, let's change hands. Now, I have a princess, and the player that gave me the princess, because we switched decks because of the general, now the player has the soldier. So the player now knows that I had the soldier. Next turn that player gets to play, plays a soldier, names me, guesses that I had the princess, boom, knocks me out of the round. Other effects, the priestess, you play the priestess until the next turn, nobody can target you with game effects. Knights, secretly compare hands with the target player, the player with the lowest rank is out of the round. The princess is the one with the highest rank, so if you had this combination, you play the knight, you challenge somebody else, they show you their card secretly, you compare them, no matter what they have, they're gonna have a lower rank, and thanks to the knight, you win. Of course, this is a card that you need to play when you're fairly sure of the card that the players have in their hand. Otherwise, well, you are risking it. You are risking a duel that you may lose. And these are all of the cards. Priestess, soldier, wizard, knight, soldier, clown, soldier, soldier. This is it. This is how simple this game is. People keep going around the table. The game goes around the table. And players drawing a card, choosing between the two that they have, and playing one. They have to play a card, and they have to resolve the effect if it is possible at all. People keep playing until either the round is over, all cards have been dealt from the deck, and at that point the player with the single highest card in his hand is the winner of that round, or, as it may very well happen, as you can see, people can knock out of a round. It may be that before the deck is exhausted, all players will be eliminated but one, then the standing player wins the round. When you win a round, either because you have the highest card at the end, or because all other players are eliminated, you get a token that indicates, well, you won the round, and the first player to win 4 rounds to collect 4 tokens is the winner. Possibly one of the simplest games that I've ever played in terms of mechanics, at least games that I played as an adult. Tic-tac-toe is a little more complex, but this is still one of the most linear, least complex or complicated games I played as an adult, and yet this is a little gem. This is a little gem of minimalism. What the game achieves with a deck of 16 cards with such a limited range of effects is remarkable. This, the heart, is a deduction and bluffing game. You had the princess, you really don't want other people to know that, because then they can target you, they can take your card towards the end of the game, they can force you to discard, and when you discard the princess, you're out of the game. There are cards that you don't want other people to know that you have them. And then you go like this, you try to disguise the identity of the cards that you have, you try to figure out what other players have, and you use cards to your advantage, you make educated guesses about what other players have, so that you don't find yourself entering duels that, well, that will kill you, even though sometimes you may be forced to do so. You need to figure out what people have in their hands, so you don't waste your effects. There is just so much subtlety that emerges from such an apparent simple game, or such a naturally simple game, but it doesn't matter. Here, simplicity is not something that makes the game dull. Simplicity is what makes the game shine. Such a linear, such a simple game, such a game that you can pitch in a minute, and that you can play in 20 minutes or less if you have 2 players, then this is a gem. I found it very entertaining. I really like this game.